Hey, 7th graders. So we're doing another park-like question for today. They look a lot more challenging than they are, but you just kind of have to sit down and think about it for a second, and you should be good with it. The other thing with these, it says which expressions have products that are positive, select all that apply. So for our first example, there's a couple things. We'll jump into it, and then I'll start talking about a few technicalities. So which expressions have products that are positive? I have to think about products. What does that mean? A product means multiplication. So it means which of these answers to the multiplication problems are positive. Select all that apply. That means there's going to be more than one answer. Remember that we're not going to cross off answers that we don't know. We'll cross them off on this side. Something else to keep in mind is when you're taking a test like these, all the problems that say select all that apply are all worth 1 point, which means you have to get every single answer correct. If there's 4 correct answers and you pick 3 of them and you pick 3 of the right ones, it's not going to count. You still get it wrong. You have to get every single piece exactly correct. So let's get started. Which ones are positive? Well, I know that a negative times a negative is positive, and I know a positive times a negative is negative. So I'm going to look for where I'm going to end up with positive numbers. Let's take a look at the first one. Negative times a positive is negative. I don't care what the numbers are. They could be fractions, decimals, symbols, whatever they are. I know that a negative times a positive, no matter what it is going to be negative. And now I have this negative times this negative. A negative times a negative would be a positive. I'm going to put positive, and I'm going to circle in A. B. A positive, doesn't matter if it's a fraction, times a positive is a positive. And this positive times a negative is going to be negative. So I know that this one is negative. Not going to fill it in. Next problem, positive 6 times negative 3. This is going to be a negative. Then I have a negative times a positive, and that's going to be positive. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. A negative, so we'll start from the beginning. A positive times a negative is negative. Then we'll take this negative and multiply it by this positive, and we'll get a negative. Then we have a negative times a negative, which is a positive. D, a negative times a negative makes a positive. I'm going to cross them off because I've used them. This positive times this negative will make a negative. And a negative times a negative will make a positive. I have 2 left. A positive times a negative is negative. I'm going to cross them off because I use them. This negative times a positive is negative still. And this negative times a positive is still going to be negative. Last one. A negative times a negative makes a positive. A positive times a positive is still going to be positive. And this positive times this negative will result in a negative. So on this problem, I had 3 correct answers, A, C, and D. Again, it doesn't matter what the numbers are. You can figure them out. Use your skills for multiplying and dividing. Then there's one trying it with adding and subtracting. I think we're a little stronger at that, so give that one a try, and then there's a challenge problem. On the back of your worksheet, you will see a review problem, kind of what we're doing today and what we did yesterday for class. Good luck.